Yeah. Now, but one thing was really clear all the way through is that she wanted to have a career, and she was determined to have a career, and she wanted to have a big career. I mean, she wanted to be a serious writer, a famous writer. And so she, but being a woman, it was hard to get a job. How did she manage to get the job of being this camera girl at the Washington Times Herald? I mean, that was a really unusual thing for a woman to be able to do at that time.
Well, the paper itself had many women writers, and the editor who hired her, who I managed to interview, was quite elderly, but I interviewed him for As We Remember Her, and he also had done many interviews, basically the same stories, but slight differences about this period when he hires her. Um, uh, uh, it had been her stepfather who called his friend, who was the bureau chief of the New York Times, Arthur Kroc, who was friends, very good friends, with Frank Waldrop at the Washington Times Herald. And Waldrop had hired Kathleen Kennedy, JFK's sister, as well as Inga Arvid, who was one of his girlfriends. And so he had a history of hiring bright young women to see, just how much talent they really had or didn't have. And then he would place them. And because she had such a wide ranging, degree of interest and didn't want to write just about, high society or cover parties, he gave her the Inquiring Photographer column, which nobody at the paper wanted because they considered it a really, dull beat to just go out and stop strangers. And, she turned it into what somebody called the best escapist literature in Washington. Within 3 months, she gets a byline. Nobody had gotten a byline before that.